Freeze for a second. Inhale deeply. Right now, the cosmos is bending its ear to your story. This message isn't random scatter, it's a laser-guided dispatch, pinpointed to land in your spirit at this very heartbeat. You've scrolled past dozens of pep talks, maybe you even scoffed, been there, heard that. But feel that tremor in your ribcage. That's not your to-do list reminding you of deadlines, it's destiny knocking. It's as if the very air around you has leaned in and murmured, "Wake up. Pay attention." You sense the shift because it's seismic. Deep in the hidden corridors of your soul, a latch just released. You're stepping into a moment that's been waiting in the wings of eternity. Behind the veil, heaven's drums are rolling. This isn't vague inspiration, it's your name echoing through the halls of the invisible. Rise to it. This is your signal that the next chapter isn't a question, it's already written. What happens next? That's up to you. You've trudged down a road that felt like a never-ending loop, showing up, believing, staying faithful, while the spotlight passed you by again and again. You cheered for friends who soared, wondering when your own moment would come. Some days you even questioned if your moment was real. Maybe you thought you were destined only to carry other people's dreams. Yet deep inside you burned heart, grit, readiness, qualities the world failed to see because the silence was deafening. Still, you pressed on. What you didn't realize was that while the world slumbered, heaven was wide awake, taking meticulous notes. Your obedience under pressure, your tears in the dead of night, the prayers you whispered when no one else was listening. Every act, every sacrifice, every second of waiting, it all registered in the courts of eternity. Every delay you endured wasn't rejection, it was strategic protection. You weren't lost or forgotten, you were being preserved for something monumental. Then, just recently, not on Earth, but in the hidden realms, a clandestine meeting convened, 13 watchers gathered around an unseen table. These aren't celebrities or earthly leaders, they're spiritual sentinels appointed by divine decree. Some of these witnesses know your story inside out. One wept when you lost everything and still declared, "God is good." Another stood silent as slander rained down on your reputation, recording every false accusation and praying for your vindication. Not one of them hesitated when your name was placed on that sacred scroll. No debate, no doubt. The verdict rang clear and unanimous. This one, yes. It's time. You weren't overlooked. You were being groomed for a moment so holy, so custom-built, it couldn't be rushed. You weren't sidelined, you were shielded, kept safe until the precise doors opened. Doors that don't just swing wide to opportunity but usher you into your God-ordained purpose. And right now, those doors are swinging open. The same chamber that once fell silent at your name now thunders with your calling. It wasn't a hushed mention in a corner, it was a clarion call in the halls of heaven, your name pealing like a victory bell, declaring to every opposing force, "Stand back. Make way." This isn't wishful thinking or vague encouragement. Something supernatural has unlocked, and you already feel its gravitational pull. The razor-sharp timing, the piercing clarity, the unexplainable nudges steering you forward. These are celestial markers, proof that what was once on hold is now being handed over. Not because you begged, not because you hustled harder, but because heaven decreed it. Because your unwavering faith rang louder than your doubts. Because even at your lowest, you clung to belief. You didn't quit, though every fiber of your being screamed to give up. You might ask, how can a shift this immense unfold while I still feel stuck and unseen? That's exactly how heaven moves, quietly in the shadows, then explosively in the open. Angelic timing ignores ticking clocks and calendar pages, it responds to assignments. And when the appointed hour strikes, when forces align in the higher realms, there are no red lights, no negotiations, only a sovereign decree. This surge in your life isn't random favor or blind luck. It's a verdict, a holy ruling that overrides every setback, every diversion, every lie that whispered, your time has passed. Heaven has issued a binding decree in your favor, and the tsunami of change has already begun. Even if your eyes don't see it yet, your spirit senses the shift. The restlessness stirring in your soul is the wind of transformation. The obstacles that jarred you were celestial reroutes, safeguarding the timing of this breakthrough. The same resistance that once made you doubt is now bowing to divine reversal. Because heaven doesn't merely observe, it intervenes, it rules, and its rulings are final. Now you're left wondering, who are the 13? These mysterious figures, are they your ancestral guardians, watching over your bloodline? Are they angels cloaked in human skin, strategically placed in your path? Or are they souls you've brushed past, a stranger's blessing on a bus, a hallway whisper of encouragement, whose unseen weight carried your prayers up to the throne? One remembers that cliff-edge moment when you chose hope over surrender. Another echoes the silent sobs you hid in a lonely room. A third recalls the instant you shattered cycles of shame and silence, refusing to let past chains define your future. These 13 remain hidden in plain sight, for this moment isn't about their glory, it's about yours. This is the revelation of what has always been true: your life was never ordinary. Even in your darkest valleys, you were anointed. You weren't just waiting for your breakthrough, you were being summoned into destiny. And now that summons has arrived. This proclamation wasn't a fleeting whisper, it was an authoritative shout across the heavens: this one's time has come. It's not coincidence, it's completion. The promises spoken over you, perhaps before you drew your first breath, maybe generations ago, are converging now for fulfillment. You are stepping into more than a new season, you're entering a prophecy made flesh by your struggle, your steadfast faith. Every injustice, every betrayal, every moment you thought you were alone was actually preparing the way for this divine alignment. Heaven compiled your tears, your endurance, your hidden prayers into a sacred dossier, and when your case came before the throne, the ruling wasn't for review, it was for action. This tribunal wasn't an abstract meeting, it was a courtroom of destiny, a holy decree pronounced in power, unassailable and irrevocable. That's why the changes you're about to witness are unstoppable. What's spoken in heaven must manifest on earth. So if you've felt the stirrings beneath the surface, the restless itching in your spirit, the quiet hum that signals something massive is brewing, lean in. Doors will crack open that seemed welded shut. Invitations will land on your doorstep. Voices you never expected will call your name, saying, "We've been watching you." But remember, none of this is sudden. None of it is luck. It's the unfolding of a divine courtroom verdict. When heaven moves, earth has no choice but to follow. One of those 13 remembers the exact moment you teetered on the edge of surrender, and instead of falling, you dug in and held on tight. Another still echoes the sound of your silent sobs on a night when no one else sensed your agony. A third witnessed you shatter the chains of generational shame, refusing to carry the burdens of your ancestors any longer. These 13 remain cloaked in mystery because this moment isn't about their fame, it's about your rise. This is the grand unveiling of a truth that's always pulsed through your veins. Your life was never meant to be ordinary. Even when you felt invisible, you were marked. Even in your darkest valleys, your name echoed in the heavens. You weren't merely waiting for a breakthrough, you were being summoned into destiny. And today, that summons roars. It wasn't a hushed whisper, it was a thunderous decree across the heavenlies: this one's time has come. This isn't random luck, it's completion. Promises whispered over you before your first breath, maybe even before your ancestors drew theirs, are now clawing their way to reality. You're not just entering a new season, you're stepping into a prophecy being fulfilled by your endurance, your unwavering faith. Every betrayal you endured, every injustice you faced, every moment you were misjudged wasn't overlooked, it was meticulously logged in a divine dossier. Your tears, your steadfast obedience, your midnight prayers were evidence in a holy tribunal, and that courtroom delivered a verdict so final it can never be overturned. What's unfolding now transcends mere healing, it's legacy in motion. It's about the countless lives set free because you refused to quit, because you stood firm when giving up felt easier, because you believed when nothing around you made sense. This is more than a motivational surge, it's a summons into alignment with the blueprint written for your life. While earth whispered, "Too late," heaven roared, "Right on time." While people told you, "Not enough," heaven declared, "Watch what I do through them." You will feel a low, steady hum beneath your skin, the atmosphere holding its breath before eruption. This isn't anxiety, it's the trembling of your breakthrough. Soon, doors once welded shut will burst open. Invitations will drop into your lap from circles that never noticed you before. Strangers will say, "You came to mind," or, "We've been watching you." None of this is sudden or accidental. It's the fallout of a divine ruling that has already gone forth. When heaven decrees, earth reshapes itself in obedience. Even if your surroundings lie still, the spiritual gears have already clicked into motion, waiting only for you to step through. Forget hustle. Forget clock watching. This is about higher realm obedience, about cosmic alignment you cannot yet see. You might wonder if you've earned this moment, if you've grown enough or healed enough, but heaven didn't consult your self-doubt before calling it. It looked only at perfect timing and said, "Now." What happened in that sacred room wasn't quiet. It wasn't gentle. It shook eternity. Your name didn't slip through lips in passing, it was proclaimed. A holy silence followed as your name echoed through the heavenly chamber, not as a question, but as a statement of purpose. Then it happened, an interruption. Not chaos, not confusion, but a shift. Someone stood. Not with fury, not with fanfare. With calm, with weight. The room stilled. Every spirit, every being present turned their gaze because no introduction was needed. This figure carried undeniable authority, the kind not demanded, but earned in realms unseen. They spoke your name, not once, not rushed, but clear, steady, reverent. And as they did, the sound fell into the silence like a sacred key finally turning inside an ancient lock. That lock had waited years, waited for this voice, this moment. And when it clicked open, everything changed. This wasn't a plea. This wasn't defense. It was revelation. They didn't list your accomplishments, they uncovered your truth. They revealed the moments no one ever saw. When you held yourself together on nights your world fell apart. When you chose kindness even while breaking. When you blessed others while your hands were trembling and empty. They recited the prayers you whispered through clenched teeth, the faith you clung to when you had no proof, and the integrity you kept when compromise would have been easier. With every word spoken, the entire weight of heaven began to lean your way. Not because of sympathy, but because of honor. Because heaven doesn't reward performance, it responds to purity. And yours rang loud. That voice tipped the scale. That voice shifted timelines. That voice turned a decision into a decree. From that moment on, the ruling wasn't just in your favor, it was irreversible. Final. Sealed in the courts of glory. That's why the changes that are coming will not be undone. What's been declared over you can't be taken back. What's been opened for you can't be closed. What's been written in heaven must now unfold on earth. And yes, it might all feel fast, surreal, overwhelming, but it's not too soon. It's not premature. It's right on time. It's heaven's time. And now, the question rises. A deep, holy curiosity stirring in your spirit. Who was it? Who stood for you when everyone else remained seated? Who saw the truth of your heart when the world misunderstood it? Who had both the authority to shift eternity and the compassion to do it for you? You may never know their name on this side of eternity, but their presence is written into your story now. Their words turned the tide. Their stand made your breakthrough undeniable. And now, this message has reached you, not by chance, but by assignment. Don't let it pass like just another scroll through your feed. This is holy ground. If this message stirred something in your soul, if your spirit recognized the truth inside it, pause. Breathe. Type Amen in the comments. Then like, share, and subscribe to help us reach others like you who need this divine reminder. And if you feel led to sow into this message, support us with a super thanks of any amount, up to $20. Your support allows this truth to keep reaching the ones heaven hasn't forgotten.